From the Hussman School of Journalism and Media at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, covering the full range of Tar Heel athletics. This is Sports Extra.
Carolina men's basketball team is officially the 1 seed in the West Division, but it wasn't an easy journey to get there. The ACC tournament showed the Heels how March really has the ability to transform a team. Good morning and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm Caroline Yaffa.
And I'm Ashley Humphrey. Thanks for joining us. Caroline, you're right. The journey through the conference tournament wasn't exactly what the Heels had in mind. On Friday, the number 1 seeded Tar Heels faced the number 4 Pitt Panthers in D.C., battling for a spot in the ACC championship game. Carolina had an uncharacteristic start after an explosive night against Florida State, allowing the Panthers to go on an 11-0 run. UNC's toughness allowed the Heels to battle back, concluding the first half with only a 2-point deficit thanks to this clutch 3 by Harrison Ingram. The Heels took control during the second half of the game as RJ banked back-to-back threes. Carolina's defense was dominant with blocks like this one from big man Armando Bacot, holding the Panthers to a 33.3 shooting percentage in the second half, punching their ticket to the championship with a 72-65 win.
In Saturday night's championship game, the Tar Heels faced the surging NC State Wolfpack. Carolina struggled to build momentum from the start, allowing the Wolfpack to be up by 10 in the first 5 minutes. The Tar Heels were able to rally back with a pair of threes from RJ Davis and a corner shot by Cormac Ryan, taking the Heels into the locker room with a 1-point lead. Coming back out, the Tar Heels couldn't find their groove. They were shooting a staggeringly low 28% throughout the second half. State had several turnovers in the final minutes, giving Carolina the opportunity for a comeback. But the Tar Heels couldn't execute and missed wide open shots. Carolina was overcome by NC State's Cinderella story, falling short of the championship title 84-76. We weren't able to light the tower blue, but let's go to the top of the key with men's basketball analyst Aman Patel to see why State got to light theirs red.
Caroline, this was a game to forget. A golden opportunity to win the ACC tournament goes down the drain. Coach Hubert Davis said they just couldn't guard NC State, but I think that's a bit of an overstatement. I think the Heels could defend. I just don't think tactically they did the right things. So let's start at the very beginning of the game. The ball's going to start at the top of your screen here, and as Harrison Ingram, his man goes to the paint, he goes to double. There's just no reason to. He's not close enough to the baseline nor the sideline to trap him, and he's not in a scoring position. This double forces defense to collapse and allows an NC State shooter wide open to knock down that easy three. And this early struggle in rotation continued in the first half because you're going to see it right here. TJ Horn goes around this screen, and Jalen Washington is just in no man's land here. He needs to step up. This is an electric shooter, and he just lets him walk into this one and knock it down to extend that early lead. But even with all that being said and done, the Heels, with under 5 to go, were down 8 points. And RJ Davis is going to call his own number. He gets the screen and penetrates, gets downhill, but right here, you have to use this vision. Both of these defenders are looking to block your shot. That means you have 2 guys down low open, Jalen Withers and Armando Bacot. Find one of them, and it's an easy bucket. Instead, he forces it up, gets blocked, and that is the icing on the cake of a fantastic Cinderella run by NC State. UNC has some glaring holes going into that big dance, Caroline.
Aman, even after that loss, UNC earned a 1 seed. Do you think the committee made the right decision?
Well, Caroline, I won't question the committee, but I think UNC still has a lot of work to do, even with that number 1 seed, because Michigan State is a possible second-round matchup.
Well, Aman, let's hope Carolina's star players can get the dance started on Thursday. Thanks, Aman.
Speaking of stars, RJ Davis has had one of the most historic seasons for a Tar Heel ever, and Alex Phillips tells us it's leaving fans asking the question, why not 4?
Why not 4? A slogan repeated by UNC basketball fans who believe that RJ Davis should be recognized as the best men's college basketball player in the nation this year. But why 4?
They put us on the back and took the game over. I mean, that might be the best performance I've seen as someone on my team, a scoring performance ever in my life.
Have you seen anybody kind of do the college level what he's done?
I've never, no. I feel that's player of the year. You asked me, that's player of the year.
I mean, he just broke the D-Dome record. You can't argue with that.
Behind me is the Dean Smith Center, where Davis broke UNC legend Tyler Hansborough's single-game scoring record with a captivating 42-point performance, while becoming the first Tar Heel since the GOAT Michael Jordan to outscore his entire team combined.
been so consistent. That's what we always talk about, like after games when my friends are talking about it, just how consistent RJ is, whether he's main scorer or assisting or rebounding, he's just always giving it all on the court.
Davis's impressive senior season consists of 21.5 points, 3.8 rebounds, and 3.5 assists per game, with shooting splits of 43% from the field, 40% from three-point range, and 87% from the free throw line. His consistency has elevated the Tar Heels from contenders to formidable challengers.
He's the example of what you want. I mean, it's just not on the court. He gets it done in the classroom. He gets it done in the community. He's a great teammate. He's the hardest worker. We had shoot around this morning. He was the last guy in the gym getting up shots.
Despite Davis leading the ACC in scoring and is sent from 39th to 8th on UNC's all-time scoring list, he remains second to Purdue's Zach Edey, the favorite to win the award. However, there's still one question UNC fans will continue to ask.
Why not 4?
I'm Alex Phillips, reporting.
RJ's success this year helped lead the Tar Heels to the regular season ACC title, but most importantly, he helped Carolina become a #1 seed in the NCAA tournament. The Tar Heels joined the likes of the defending champion UConn Huskies, the Houston Cougars, and Zach Edey and the Purdue Boilermakers as the #1 seeds. Carolina's path includes the winner of Howard versus Wagner tomorrow, and if they're able to advance, they have a tough matchup with the winner of Michigan State and Mississippi State in the round of 32. Like Hubert Davis said yesterday, the team needs to take it game by game and city by city as they look to clinch the first 2 in Charlotte. Caroline, what do you think will be the most difficult potential matchup in the round of 32 for UNC?
Well, Ashley, if UNC makes it past the round of 64 to 32, it's not going to be a cakewalk one bit. Let's talk Michigan State. Hall of Fame coach Tom Izzo has a 65% winning percentage against higher-ranked teams in the NCAA tournament. There'll be difficulty regardless if it's Michigan State or Mississippi State, but how do you feel about the whole bracket of the West Division?
I mean, a week ago, there was potential of us being the 2 seed in the East with UConn, so I would say it's a pretty good deal for the team. I think the 1 seed's absolutely deserved after seeing how all the conference tournaments ended. And then, of course, the scriptwriters couldn't pass up putting Arizona as the 2 seed in the West, hoping for that Caleb Love matchup in the Elite Eight. And I think it's going to be a great time staying in our home state for hopefully the first 2 games. Maybe we'll have that home state advantage.
And on the women's side of things, they'll be playing close to home too in Columbia, South Carolina, but their bracket selection really wasn't nearly as favorable. Courtney Banghart and her squad are an 8 seed in the Regional 1 in Albany. They will battle against the 9th-seeded Michigan State Spartans Friday. A win could mean a rematch against the #1 overall seeded South Carolina Gamecocks.
The 9th-ranked women's lacrosse team traveled to the Empire State Saturday to face off the #7 Syracuse. In the first 4 minutes of the game, the Orange went on a massive 5-run goal with absolutely no answers from the Tar Heels. Then Alyssa Long finally broke the streak with a free position shot and utilized another free position opportunity to score the Heels their second goal. Freshman Ava Ongrilli successfully entered the zone, leaving the Heels only 4 goals behind Syracuse. Unfortunately, the Orange scored yet another goal before the half and continued to dominate. The Tar Heels lost 20-5 and are now 6-3. To dive deeper into how the Orange were able to totally torch the Heels, let's go inside the crease with Caroline Routh. Caroline?
Ashley, this game marked the largest margin of defeat in program history. Syracuse dominated the draw and had 27 shots on goal compared to UNC's mere 8. Now, from the start, the Orange had the edge. Here, we'll see Syracuse drive in, and we're going to see a quick stutter step and then an explosive change of speed to score an easy goal. Now, if you're Emily Knowles and you're her defender, you can't give her an open hand in an open lane to the goal. Force her to switch hands. You have to dictate where your attacker will go so they don't end up dictating you. Now, on this next play, we're going to see Syracuse's Savannah Switzer, and she's going to pass it in to this player from the top who's streaking in. Now, UNC is 2 seconds too late on that crash, and that allows another goal for the Orange. If you think Syracuse's speed just came from their feet, think again. UNC was a step behind them on their passes too, as we'll see 2 quick passes and a quick stick goal was all it took for Syracuse to get 1 more goal in the back of the net. They showed us that their hands move just as quickly as their feet. Our defense let Syracuse put on a show on Saturday, and a gap that big just can't happen again. Ashley?
Caroline, was this game a wake-up call for the Heels?
Well, Ashley, UNC has one of the top defensive units in the country, but their signature trust your matchup style of play they're accustomed to was no match for the speedy Syracuse attack. In-game adjustments must come quicker, and the defense needs to lock in.
Thanks, Caroline. Let's hope they turn it around against Louisville.
UNC men's lacrosse traveled upstate this weekend to compete against Stony Brook in a game that tested their defense. Freshman Owen Duffy continues to show his impact, consistently scoring 4 or more goals for the past 3 games. This was head coach Joe Bresci's 250th career win. With their 4th straight victory, the Tar Heels defeated the Seawolves 12-8. With Erin Matson coming off coaching a national championship year, she'll now represent Team USA in the Indoor Pan American Cup. This tournament will take place tomorrow through Friday in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Matson will be playing with another one of the Heels, Riley Heck. Fans hope the Heels can help Team USA earn a spot in the Indoor World Cup.
UNC baseball looked to continue an 11-game win streak in Alex Rodriguez Park against Miami this weekend. In their leadoff game against the Hurricanes on Friday, the Tar Heels starting pitcher Folger Boas gave up his first run of the season in the bottom of the first. Carolina was able to load the bases in the 4th inning with no outs, and Anthony D'Onofrio earned an RBI in a fielder's choice and drove in Vance Honeycutt from 3rd. But nothing could stand in the path of the Hurricanes as they quickly extended their lead to 14-1 in the 7th, and the Tar Heels were unable to score after that. The second game of the series on Saturday night was deadlocked at 0-0 when inclement weather caused a rain delay in the 4th inning. UNC and Miami exchanged blows, but this game was a defensive showcase, leaving both teams at 1 run apiece. The game remained tied until the bottom of the 9th inning when Dorian Gonzalez hit an electric walk-off home run to win the game for Miami. Miami clinched the series with this massive final play. On Sunday, grad student Alex Madera started a 7-homer game with an explosive bomb to left center field. At the top of the 5th, freshman Gavin Gallagher landed a hard drive grand slam swing to left field, putting the Heels up 10-4. Sophomore Casey Let Him Cook sent a ball flying over left center to get in 2 more runs. Cook closed out the scoring after turning a low pitch swing into another left center dinger to seal the game. The Heels mercy ruled the Hurricanes 18-6 in the 7th to avoid the sweep. To dive deeper into how the Heels have opened up ACC play, let's throw it over to our baseball analyst Caroline Daly for Daily on the Diamond. Caroline?
Ashley, during the break, the Diamond Heels opened up ACC play against Pitt and Miami. The 2 series were drastically different. Against Pitt, the Heels did a great job capitalizing on their opportunities to finish out close games with runners in scoring position. In the first Pitt game, it's the bottom of the 8th with a 3-2 count. And Pitt's catcher, he's setting up low for the curveball, but the pitcher misses high, and that allows Ozuna to barrel this ball for a sac fly with pinch runner Caleb Koss. He's on 3rd. He's going to run home and score, making it 2-1. And this run ultimately won the game for the Heels. Then in the 3rd game of the Pitt series, Casey Cook, he's on first base, and in this at-bat, Anthony D'Onofrio has a full count as well in the bottom of the 10th. Pitt's catcher, once again, he's setting up low, this time with a fastball that misses down the middle, and D'Onofrio rockets the ball to right field near the warning track. Cook is going to round 3rd all the way from first to come home and score, making it 6-5 and ending it in a walk-off. Moving to the Miami series, in the top of the 9th, Caleb Koss, he's on second base in scoring position. But both Colby Wilkerson and Vance Honeycutt strike out as they swung at these low pitches, and this ultimately led to Miami getting a walk-off home run in the bottom of the 9th to win the series. That was one of their 9 runners that they stranded in scoring position during this game. UNC got back to playing like they did against Pitt in their last game of the Miami series yesterday. That type of play is the key to success for the Diamond Heels. Ashley?
Caroline, who are UNC's opponents coming up, and what are some of the challenges they might face?
The Heels are going to face off against UNC Wilmington tomorrow at the Bosch, but I think the more difficult opponent will be Georgia Tech this weekend. The Yellow Jackets have a record of 15-4, and they're undefeated in conference play. And they're coming off of a series sweep against the 13th-ranked NC State Wolfpack, with the last game ending in a mercy rule of 15-5.
We'll have to see how the Heels stack up against some quality competition. Thanks, Caroline.
The Tar Heels softball team traveled down to Clemson this past weekend for a series against the 14th-ranked Tigers. This leadoff home run ripped to right field by Clemson's Alex Brown was a sign of things to come as Clemson jumped on Tar Heel pitching all day. The Heels offense had nothing going against Clemson starter Reagan Spencer as she pitched a complete game shutout in the 5-0 win for the Tigers. Softball looked to even up the series on Saturday, but Clemson took the lead with a solo home run in the bottom of the first, but Carly Myrtle tied the game with this 2-out RBI single in the second. Kenna Ray Dark kept the Heels in the game, giving up only 2 runs in 5 innings. However, Clemson got 2 unearned runs in the 6th, which proved to be enough as the Heels fell 4-1. In the third game, the Heels looked to steal a win to salvage the series, but that would prove to be impossible as Carolina fell behind in the bottom of the first inning, with Clemson pouring in 5 runs. In the top of the 4th inning, UNC loaded the bases with no outs, and junior Carly Myrtle drove in the only run of the game for the 2nd day in a row. But Carolina was unable to put any more runs across and fell to Clemson 9-1, resulting in the series sweep by the Tigers.
The number 27 men's tennis team traveled to Tallahassee Friday to rally against the number 13 Seminoles. Florida State dominated at the start with a 2-0 lead, but the Tar Heels answered back. Anuj Wantanya finished things by winning the clinching match in a second set tiebreaker in his home state. Carolina won 4-2. The team headed to Miami on Sunday trying to secure another dub for the weekend. Miami started off strong, taking a 2-0 lead. The Tar Heels tried to fight back in singles, but Miami secured the win 4-3, sending the Heels back to Chapel Hill.
UNC Gymnastics traveled down to the Bayou Friday night to compete against number 2 LSU in their last regular season meet. The Tar Heels made a statement on LSU's purple floor, posting a huge season-high 49.300 with help of Kaya Forbes and Julia Noer's pair of 9.9s. Carolina carried this momentum to beam, where graduate Hallie Thompson was rewarded with a 9.875 for her best beam routine of the season and helped UNC earn a season-high 49.225. The Gym Heels finished with a season-high road score of 196.075, but still fell 2 points short of the Tigers. UNC's sights are set on ACC Championships Saturday in Greensboro. The women's golf team headed down to the Aloha State as they began their 3-day tournament at the Dr. Donis Thompson Invitational. In round 1, the Tar Heels shot 6 under par, finishing in solo 3rd place. Megan Stryker led the team, shooting 5 under par. Reporter Shirley Mounier shows us how the UNC Ballroom community has grown to be home for a lot of Carolina students.
And step, wait, hip, knee, step, wait, hip, knee.
The Ballroom has been used as a place to socialize and get together for centuries, and the tight-knit ballroom community at UNC and throughout the Triangle tries to keep this tradition alive today.
Ballroom dance is a sport practiced around the world and consists of 4 Latin and standard styles of dance.
1, 2, and 1, and.
Doing ballroom is a great way to learn a new skill that you'll have for life, while also meeting a bunch of really cool people. So we do a lot of social dancing in the area as well. So you meet people from all walks of life, all ages, all styles, all levels, and we also get really close with our surrounding schools, so like Duke's team, State's team, and it's just a lot of fun to just meet new people and dance around.
It was smiles across the board for the UNC Ballroom team, who competed at the Bullfighters Ball recently and consistently had a top 3 finish across events. They decided to celebrate with more team bonding.
One of the things I've really appreciated is the sense of community I've gotten. I met some of my best friends through it. I call her my wife now. I bought us matching rings. We adopted some freshmen. I've also had a lot of really fun times competing, going to different events, going to pajama dance socials, showing up in a deer onesie.
UNC Ballroom prides itself on being a community open to everyone. They compete next on March 22nd at Nationals in Pittsburgh. I'm Shirley Meunier reporting.
Well, there's lots of dancing going on between the ballroom dancers and the men's and women's basketball teams during this month. Good luck to all of our Carolina teams competing.
This past week might have been spring break, but that didn't stop Tar Heel Athletics from providing some electric moments. This week it was left fielder Gavin Gallagher and point guard Seth Trimble. Up first, we have this grand slam over the left field wall from the bat of freshman Gallagher against the University of Miami, making the Tar Heel lead 10-4 in the top of the fifth. Next up, we have this slam dunk from, should I say, Seth Air Trimble against Florida State in the Heel's first game in the ACC tournament. Take a look at this one more time as he takes off. Make sure to vote for which play you think should be our play of the week on our Instagram story. The winner will be revealed on Friday. Caroline, after missing March last year, I'm ready to watch the Heels dance.
Ashley, I've been waiting for this month all year long, and making it from not making it to the tournament last season to the #1 seed, it feels a little bit more like Carolina basketball to me, but let's not think too prematurely. There's still a long way ahead to get to Phoenix. We will give you all of the updated game scores and Carolina stats in the weeks to come, but that does it for this edition of Sports Extra.
We'll be back on Friday with another preview of an exciting weekend of Carolina athletics.